welcome to my channel, Maze's Life, where I'm terrible at managing money, but trying to get better. So as I've been doing these monthly debt confessions and doing some more research into my debt freedom journey, in my research, people will often say, where are you in your net worth journey, to be used as a motivator and then also to help establish goals for in the future. They will always say, ever wonder why some people seemed stressed about money while others live carefree? Well, it's net worth and where you are on your net worth journey. Because your net worth journey determines your peace, your daily peace, your options, your freedom. So in today's video, I wanted to walk through 12 different stages of net worth, from being dependent, which, spoiler, is where I currently am, all the way up to financial freedom. And you can use this video to map out where you are, where you want to go, and know where to focus on to next. But I will be mainly using this video to explain where I am and where I want to go. All right, so now for the first stage, I like to call it stage 0 because I'm below stage 1. I am completely dependent. I'm spending more than I make. I have to either rely on my parents or rely on accumulating debt. It's the year 2023, and I have been a dependent since 2015 when I first turned 18 at March 27th, 2015. At this stage, I've noticed that I constantly feel either stressed or shamed or trapped. I'm constantly worrying about bills. You may be even dodging phone calls from creditors. But here at this stage, now that I'm trying to get out of debt, I am going to be tracking every dollar, like I stated several videos ago. I'm going to be cutting majority of my non-essentials. I'm not going to cut all of them, but I'll cut majority of them. And I will increase my income, even if it's small, while getting a second job, roommate, promoting, things that I've said previously in other videos. All right, then there is stage 1, so that is going to be the survival stage. So previous stage was stage 0, now we're finally at 1, which is the survival stage. So you still, or I will still have a negative net worth. I will still have large amounts of debt. I will still be living paycheck to paycheck, but I won't be dependent on anyone else but myself. Since I will still be living paycheck to paycheck, there will still be no peace of mind. There will still be very little, if any, breathing room, but at least I will not have the dependency issues that I currently have right at this moment. All right, so then there's stage 2. Stage 2 is the turning point. So the turning point is when you start having a little bit of cash left over at the end of the month. So before, there was barely any wiggle room, barely any breathing room because you're living paycheck to paycheck. But in this stage, you're able to start having a little bit of extra money at the end of the month after all the bills, the minimum debt payments, groceries, rent, phone bills are paid. So you're able to have that little bit of hope that now you can use that extra money to go towards larger debt payments, more contributing to your emergency fund. All right, then there's stage 3. So stage 3 is optimistic. So here at this stage, we're gonna have a net worth of around $0. So that's when your assets equals your debts. You're no longer in the red in terms of assets and debts. You will still have some debts, some total debts. You'll still have some monthly minimum debt payments, but at least your assets are equaling your debts. Your assets can be anything from home equity, auto equity, car equity. It can be anything that you have of value, while your debts is your mortgage that you have on your home or your auto loan that you have on your car. So once those even out, your assets versus debts, your savings versus your debt payments, then you will be at this optimistic stage. Then moving on to stage 4. So stage 4 is the emerging stage. So that is where you have a positive net worth. You still may have debt, but you have very little debt and you have a lot in savings, a lot in investments. Your car may be worth a good bit of money. You may have a home and you may be able to have a good chunk of equity in that home. This is where you start to get your confidence growing, you start building momentum, and then you also start to see tangible results. All right, so then we have stage 5. So stage 5 is what I'm going to call the breathing room. So that's where you have, your consumer debt free. You started already feeling some breathing room in the past, but this is when you are completely consumer debt free. No credit cards, non-mortgage debts, student loans, auto loans, personal loans, security loans, phone payments. You don't have any debt. You are feeling completely relieved. You have fewer demands, you have fewer bills, you have more cash flow, you have complete breathing room. Not a little bit, not more than the previous stage, but this is where you have full breathing room. Stage 6 is increased stability. So this is where you're gonna finally have your 3 to 6 months worth of emergency funds. So previously you only had $1,000. $1,000 will not cover you for the entire month if you are laid off. But in this increased stability stage, stage 6, you will have 3 to 6 months. So if some sort of medical emergency or job loss were to arise, you will have enough cushion that loss of income or unexpected event won't completely wreck you. And you'll even have the possibility to work less hours if need be, in terms of just times of stress or when you need to take a break and step back from work. It doesn't always have to be job loss. It doesn't always have to be a medical event. You can also just take some time off in times that you may even need it. All right, so then stage 7 is desire. So stage 7, you are creating that $100,000 net worth. This $100,000 is a big symbolic milestone. I always see financial creators talk about how the first $100,000 is the hardest and then the rest will come easy because of compound interest and compound growth. So at this desire, all you want to do is create that first $100,000 net worth, that $100,000 investment even. You can be proud and you can start making much bigger decisions in terms of moving investments and risk with those investments as well. All right, so then with these last stages, these dollar amounts are going to be specific to me with my situation and where I ultimately want to be and end up. So these dollar amounts may be different for everyone and anyone depending on where you live in the world, where you want to live in the world, and then also where you see yourself in the future. So for stage 8, that is what I'm going to be calling the progress. So that is, for me, $375,000 of net worth. So I want to have that net worth in things like my property, retirement accounts, investments, and savings. I may still have a mortgage, but no other non-mortgage debt exists. This will help me get a strong footing to ultimately be where I want to end up, but that is stage 8, progress, $375,000 for me. Okay, then moving on to step 9. So step 9 is going to be called growth, and for me that's going to mean a $700,000 net worth. That is a substantial amount of wealth, and for some people that may be their end goal, but for me that is stage 9 in my 12 stages, and that is the growth, $700,000. It will provide me more opportunity. It'll give me the luxury of choice. Working becomes optional, and then from that, more opportunities open. Once I get to this stage of life, I will need things like tax planning, portfolio management, mentorship, giving and receiving. I will need estate planning, legacy thinking, more complex assets, because you can only keep so much money at a bank, FDIC insured. But that is stage 9, growth, $700,000 for me. But that number may be different for you. All right, then we have stage 10. So that's the self-actualization. So you're almost there. This is the 11th stage. Even though it's stage 10, it's because we started at 0. This is the 11th stage. So you're almost there. You're at self-actualization. You're at self-actualization. So this is, for me, $1.1 million of net worth. Granted, this is going to likely be in my home equity largely, and in my pension and investments through work. I do not ever foresee me having this much money just in a savings account or checking account. That would actually be very unwise per the things that I would need to do in the previous stages with the tax planning and estate planning. I don't ever expect to have this in a savings or checkings account. This will always be, or this will most likely be, in home equity and investment in my pension through work. I will not just be able to make this on my own. Compound interest, as I stated before, will be a large factor in how I succeed and how I get to this stage in life. All right, so then there is the last stage, and that is the stage that I would like to call freedom. So at freedom, to me, that is $1.5 million net worth. That is also a fully paid off mortgage. With a fully paid off mortgage, my largest monthly expense goes away. So I will only be having to live off of that investment. And if that investment is solely in investments, with a withdrawal rate of around 4%, that gives me about $60,000 a year to live safely. And for me, that represents real financial independence, real financial freedom. That'll give me the resources for giving, spending time with my family, finding more purpose, finding mentorship, finding meaning. But ultimately, I will have true freedom. Work becomes choice only, and time is mine. So there will be less time worrying about money because time will be truly mine at that stage for me. And like I said, everyone's final number, their final freedom number, is different. All right, thank you for watching this video. Please let me know down below, where do you think that you are on this ladder? I am on that stage 0, dependent, because I'm still accumulating debt. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, accumulating debt every month. But if you can drop your stage number down in the comments, greatly appreciate it. If you can't ever see yourself reaching the final stages, then, work smaller steps, How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So have momentum and progress over perfection. Moving up one stage at a time is enough. You don't need to think about how do I get to the final stage as soon as possible, because just moving up one stage will give you options. Additionally, start by working on things that you can control. So those are going to be things like reducing your debts, increasing your income, saving and investing when you can. And then lastly, don't let your mindset hold you back. Knowing where you are in your current stage is supposed to be powerful. It's not supposed to make you sad or disappointed that you're not somewhere higher. So if this video gave you some clarity, or if you just got some clarity about yourself or about me, and now you know a little bit more about me, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's other videos like this that you would like to see. Other than that, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye. bye.